Ooh, we missed that whole thing. Thank you, Bailey. You guys should be hearing me now. Why did nobody but Bailey notice this? And she just texted me. All right, so let me speed through what we covered. Yeah, welcome to the Remodeler Show. Hosted by Kyle Hunt. And then, okay, stop. And then I was like, hey, it's August 20th, 2020, 8/20/2020. And then what did I say? Welcome. It's Thursday. Let's rock and roll. It's back. Okay, there seems to be some sound difficulties. We're good. Okay. And then I said the question of the day. So put this in the comments section. I'll mention this a few times. The last job you signed. Think of the last job that you actually signed. Where did that lead come from? Where did that lead come from? What was the how they found us? I would like to hear that and see that in the comments. Please type that in. Okay, first thing on the list today is, where's the sheet? Uh-oh, ruh-roh. Where's that sheet? I had the sheet, there it is. Sorry, I'm working from home. I booted all 4 children outside. I said, I don't want to see you until 12:30. The guy that mows my lawn has just arrived, so he's mowing while they're trying to play outside. There's just a lot going on, but we're managing. We're managing. My wife is a school teacher, and she's doing teacher training this week, so we're holding down the fort and making the best of it. Here is the first topic that I have today, and it's in the topic of around the interweb. And my buddy Tony Woodall, who has been on the Remodelers on the Rise podcast a few times, in particular talking about DISC assessments, D-I-S-C, DISC assessments, and how to use those to help you manage your team better, to understand your team better, for your team to understand each other better. There's a great power in doing those. If you just go to Remodelers on the Rise and .com and type in DISC, you'll find those. Or, Bailey, if you can even do that research and link to the 2 episodes that I did with Tony. But I got an email from Tony this morning. It's just an email that he sends out to his list. And the title of it said, should leaders be this vulnerable? Should leaders be this vulnerable? And what he kind of highlighted was, this is a copy of a letter that a Rootstock, his company, a client of theirs wrote. He wrote this open letter to the company recently. And what Tony's comment is it struck me as both touching and worthy letter for me to share with you. It strikes that delicate balance between stalwart and vulnerable, a balance that has been elusive for many leaders in this season. And I won't read the whole thing to you, but it's been a while since I've shared a message with you, is what the CEO is talking about. I want to say thank you. Over the past few months, you've shown such resilience during a very difficult time. I want to explain the reason why you have not heard from me in a while. Recently, I felt like I was losing my edge. My energy was not the same. My motivation levels were lower than normal. And life has just seemed a lot harder than before COVID. As I reached out to others, I realized I'm not alone. It goes on to say, I've learned through this experience that it's important to be intentional about how I live every day. There's so much negativity and uncertainty, It's okay to admit we're having a hard time. It's important to realize the person next to us might have those same feelings. Maybe we can be more compassionate, show more empathy, and react kindly the next time someone does not do this or has a bad day. It's a note from this leader of the business of him being more vulnerable. And I think that's just a good thing to think about. Yes, we need to be a leader that feels that lets the team know that we are strong, that we're in control of this business, that they can feel safe, and that you're leading it well. We don't want to be a basket case and let all of our stress out and for our employees to see that. That's not good leadership. But I think sometimes we aren't as vulnerable or as honest or as transparent as we could be. And I think when you do that and you do that right, it sets a little different tone, a little different culture for the business, for your team. It allows them to realize that they can be open and honest about how they're feeling. I think there's a lot of teamwork and know, like, and trust amongst the team and amongst you as a leader that can happen because of that. So that was from around the interweb. And it was just a little bit of a different take that I thought would be good for you guys to see. Okay, Rob says can't get in, but hopefully you're here now. And Bailey put a couple of the links to the episodes that I did with Tony Woodall in there. All right, next up is a little bit of a follow-up on what I talked about yesterday that seemed to resonate a little bit, and that is that you can't do it all. You can't do everything in your business. And what I put after that is, so what's your plan? What's your plan? Love for you to think about, what can you stop doing? What can you stop doing? What are some things that you're doing that is taking up some of your time that maybe you can stop doing? It's an interesting thing to think about. That might be a takeaway from today's show. What are some things you're doing that you can stop doing? What's the next responsibility that you can hire out or hand off? And don't tell me, well, Kyle, it's just easier if I do it. By the time I train them, by the time I explain it, it's just easier for me to do it. Maybe occasionally that might be the case, but the majority of the time that's not. And it's just an excuse for doing the hard work of handing it off and handing off responsibility. Successful, I wrote a few things related to this. Successful business people focus on fewer things. They're always working to focus on fewer things and more towards the valuable and more important things. The successful business owners that you see are doing fewer things and focusing more of their time, figuring out how to hand off responsibility so they can focus on the more important and valuable work that they need to be doing in their business. You can't grow very often if you're still doing everything. This is not easy, but it's doable. And what I kind of wrote in there is, what's the next goal for you for this? It's a recurring theme in my coaching as I talk to my clients. It's a recurring theme as I think about it in my business. What can we hand off? When you're able to hand off, you get to that next level of work that usually is more valuable work. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind. Consider that, and also to tie a bow on that from yesterday. One of my clients reached out and said, "I enjoyed catching the Remodeler Show today. I need to slow down." That was one of the key things that I mentioned yesterday. We need to slow down a little bit. Take a breath. Realize we can't do everything. Realize everything's not going to get done today. Enjoy the work in front of you. And as I mentioned here, you can't do it all. What's the next thing for you to hand off or delegate? Think about that. Work at that. Realize that's part of maturing as a business owner and a business leader, is the ability to do that. I hope you like that. Okay. Any comments on that? Come on, folks. A reminder, the question of the day. I would love to hear your answer to this in the comments. The last job that you signed, where did that lead come from? What was the source of that lead? How did you generate that lead? The last job you signed, where did that come from? Okay. We're going to do something that we did yesterday, which is me sharing my screen. It worked so nicely yesterday that we're going back to it. And what I wanted to show you here, as I call this kind of the show and tell section of things, is I wanted to show you, this is just a page on one of my longtime clients. I'd say he's in the top 50 clients of all time, Nate. No, he's actually in the top 10. Love working with Nate. Been working with him for, I don't know, 5-6 years or so. He runs a really nice business out in Lincoln, Nebraska. And the page that I wanted to highlight for you guys is the page that they have on their website that says join the team. Join the team. And I think so often when we create a job posting, it just looks and talks and acts the same as everybody else. It's very much focused on what we need, what I want as a business, what you can do for us as a business. And we need to realize that in order to differentiate our business, we need it to sound and look different. And also the big thing that hopefully you'll see as I kind of walk through this a little bit is that the focus is much more on them and selling them on why this is a good opportunity for them, not so much for us. So some of this language that is what I just wanted to highlight. And the hope is maybe you'll see something on here that you kind of swipe or grab or make your own for your postings, and that it helps kind of spice up and strengthen your job postings. So one thing, be part of something great. Nate's Custom Renovations is hiring. We are seeking a skilled, experienced lead carpenter to join our team. Little bit about who we are, but I'll highlight just a few pieces of this. If you'd like a rewarding position with an organization who promotes a strong work-life balance, respect among its employees, excellent benefits, and a fun place to work, we'd love to talk to you. We're selling them on a little bit, talking about our business. How we can help you, not how you can help us. See the emphasis on them. How we can help you and why you should consider moving over to our team. Even that language, should consider moving over to our team, especially in this environment. Anybody that you want to add to your team as a valued member of your team, they most likely are working for somebody else. You are needing to convince them and their significant other or their spouse that it makes sense for them to take the risk to leave their current job and join another company. There's a lot of tension in that sometimes. There's a lot of worry in that. And it's also emphasizing, that our ideal candidate is moving over to our team. At Nate's Custom Renovations, our employees' health and happiness are a top priority. We offer a great work environment and excellent benefits, such as great team atmosphere and culture. It's a good thing to highlight. Freedom to make decisions and take the lead on projects. We are selective on who we take on as clients and end up working for great people who respect our skill and craftsmanship. How many people are working for companies that have crappy clients, that the business doesn't do a good job of making sure they're working for ideal clients who actually value what they do? In Nate's case, interior year-round work, not seasonal. 90% of our work is kitchens, bathrooms, finished basements. That's an advantage and could draw some people in. Company supplied trucks and tools, paid holidays and vacation time, peace of mind knowing that we are established, local, family-run business. We offer an IRA with 3% company match, awarded as a Big 50, one of the top 50 remodelers in the country. I think what's interesting there is, great work environment and excellent benefits. You see, most of these benefits that they list, until we get down to that one, are not necessarily like benefits like a 3% company match. We're highlighting just some of the culture and some of the other benefits that aren't necessarily just flat out health insurance and paid time off and this and that. So keep that in mind as you think through, why would somebody be attracted to working with our business? Think about highlighting culture, letting them lead on projects. The fact that your clients are stronger than other people that take on clients, right? They're better, they're a good fit. So just think through, what are some of these benefits? Make a list of them. What we are looking for. Now we finally get down to what we are looking for and how you can help. By the way, in the comments section, is this helpful to kind of see a tangible example of this? If you go to lincolnrenovations.com, you click on that little join our team, you'll see the details on this. And then we get into some of the details of, the valid driver's license and clean driving record, and how we present ourselves and all of that fun stuff. A little bit more about Nate's, who we are, what we're about, our 9-point promise. Build your career at Nate's Custom Renovations, right? People that are feeling like, man, there's no future for me at this other business. It's just that. We want to really stand out and be different there. Plus, look at that. Look at that well-dressed, polished, handsome gentleman. Who would not want to work for Nate Baum? So there's a little bit of a show and tell. I think all of you watching and listening, as you're looking to hire employees, we need to make our job postings stand out, be different, more focused on them, and have a little bit of pop to them. I have a couple other things to share on this. Can you guys hear that mower? That lovely mower? Going back to you can't do it all. One thing I realized, actually, the mower I had was kind of junky. We bought it from the guy that we bought the house from 7-8 years ago, and it kept breaking down. And then I put $1,000 into this and $500 in that. And then the last time it happened, I thought, Curly, the guy that does our neighborhood, he does like 20 homes in our neighborhood, and he started doing my yard when my mower was down. And then I realized, ooh, that's really nice, and figured out, okay, I'm just gonna invest in that. But that's just an example. Even if it's not work-related things, what are things that you're doing in your life that you could shave off of your schedule? It could be chores around the house. We don't want to become soft and wusses and have everything done for us, but there is something to be said for that hour that I don't spend doing that is, in my case, an hour that I invest with my family, is an hour that I can help around in the house and managing things. So keep that in mind. Plus, when my wife, when I get home usually on Thursdays, my wife gives me a little kiss on the cheek and she goes, "Honey, thank you for mowing the lawn today." She gives me full credit for mowing the lawn because I'm paying for it and getting her done. Cool. Great to see this. Garen, nice to see you again, sir. Great to see this job posting. Biggest pain point in business is labor. All right, so I had a few other things to say about that. So yes, Garen, we got to try new things. Like, this is fresh. This feels different. This stands out a little bit more. And the other thing that I kind of wanted to add on to this is recruit like you mean it. Get creative. Conversation I had just yesterday with my client. Well, we're really needing to find some new people. So what are you doing? What are you going to do about it? Well, we got a job posting out there. Is it just like basic, like we're looking for a lead carpenter, we pay this amount, need to have X number of years of experience? Does it look like everybody else? The thought here is you got to recruit like you mean it. And I like to liken it to the sales process. You know, we talk a lot about the sales process. You guys pour a ton of time, energy, and effort into differentiating yourself. When a prospect is coming to you, they have a nice kitchen remodel, you work hard to make sure you respond to them in a very timely manner, that you're upbeat, that you do exactly what you say you're going to do, that you explain how you're different and why they should work with you. You work to build know, like, and trust. You put effort from start to finish to convert that prospect to a paying project. We need to have that same attitude and energy and efforts in the recruiting process. Yes, Garen, it is stinking hard to find good people. It's going to continue to be hard to find good people, which means we got to put effort into it like we mean it. When it says get creative, you know, some of the best social media posts that get a lot of likes and engagement and get shared and you can tag people are just pictures of your whole team smiling. That gets likes like crazy. What if your whole team was out holding a big old banner that says, we'd love for you to join our team? And you post that on Facebook, that would pop. What if you're like one of my clients who is in his truck, he's parked, puts his video camera up and says, hey, you know, this is Ed here. We are in need of a runner for our business. Now, let me tell you a little bit about what we're looking for. We're looking for a go-getter. We're looking for somebody that wants to learn the trade, that is interested in getting out there and learning all the material side, hustling around, picking up materials, delivering it, helping get job sites set up. And we are a business that's on the move. We have an excellent team. We're a fun place to work. Created a quick little video on that. Posted that on his personal Facebook page, the business page. His wife shared it. And they asked people to share it. Something like that is going to get shared much more often. It's creative, it's interesting, it's fun to watch. It gives you a feel for who he is, who the business is. And he got so much more reach because of that. So, man, recruit like you mean it. Get creative. Hopefully, the example I just showed, some of that energy and examples behind that. And be patient with it. You know, it takes time to find the right people. You might have to go through some people in order to get to the right people. Continue to work towards getting those A players. One of my clients had a recent hire, nice lead carpenter, great experience, just a nice hire. The reason that he got an interview and he asked for an interview is because my client posted a picture of this fun Friday afternoon thing he did with his team. He took his team out on a boat. They did some jet skiing. They had fun. We work hard. We play hard. The person that reached out to them to ask for an interview heard about it because his wife is connected with my client on Facebook, saw that and said, you got to call Jason. You know, you're miserable where you are. It's stressful where you are. Look at how Jason takes care of his team. Look at how, yes, they work hard, but he's just taking care of them. Call him. You know, so show off your culture a little bit. Show off what makes you unique, the little things you do. That is an example of getting creative in recruiting. You know, incentivize your team. Say, gentlemen or ladies and gentlemen, I have $1,000 that if you get out there and recruit somebody for our team that we hire, if they are still here at the 9th-day mark, I'm going to happily, the big smile on my face, say, here's $1,000. Thank you so much for helping recruit a new team member. Incentivize them. You know, you'll exchange $1,000 in exchange for an excellent employee in a heartbeat. So there's some ideas related to that. I know it's a pain point for so many of you. Let's keep working at that. Chime. We'll ask Kyle anything. What do we got? What do we got, my friends? What do we got? I think I've been hitting you guys so quick and fast with everything that you may not have had time to just stop and think about what you want to type in there. Maybe some takeaways from what I've shared so far. Maybe a question that you have for me. Let me know what you got. As I wait for that, we'll move on to the old marketing minute. Simply, just think of a client that loves you, that just you've got tremendous relationship and know, like, and trust built with them, and shoot them a quick text and say, can you do me a favor? Question mark. Don't write anything else. They will respond back. Sure, what's up? We need to get more Google reviews. I'm going to send you a quick email with specific, simple directions on how to do that. Could you leave me a Google review by the end of the week? Give them a little deadline. You'll have success with that. getting Google reviews and continuing to build your online persona and brand and results and reviews is important. So there's just a simple idea as part of the Marketing Minute. Find somebody, think about somebody, and reach out to them with a text, with a call, and ask for a Google review. You do that. It's good. All right, Garen said great ideas. Excellent. Thanks, Garen. All right. So that was the Marketing Minute. Let's see what else we've got here in the old bag of tricks here. You got that, got that. Nobody has participated in the question of the day. If you're listening to the recording or if you're still live here, the last job that you signed, where did that lead come from? Where did that lead come from? Go ahead and plug that in there. I'm just curious to hear. A little shameless promotion. Remodelers Masterclass had another sign up for the full 4-session full courses in the fall this morning, which I'm excited about. I've been Templeton Building Company, excited to have you as part of it. If you go to remodelersmasterclass.com, there is a September, October, November, December course. Each one is focused on a very specific and helpful part of your overall marketing in the case of September, sales process in the case of October, November, and financials in the case of December. I'll be pouring a lot of time, energy, effort. We're going to be focused on getting results and getting implementation done. Do you have somebody on your team that's in charge of their marketing? They should be sitting in on the September courses. Do you have a salesperson or a sales manager? You should be offering this training, have them participating in that October, November session. Do you have an office manager who's involved in QuickBooks and in setting up the budgets? Have them sit in and participate in these sessions. Would love to have you join in that. You'll keep hearing about that in the coming weeks as I continue to tell you about that, and excited to help you guys in a very structured, result-oriented way. All right, referral from previous client. Excellent. That was his last lead that he generated. Not only lead, but job we signed. Make sure you are tracking where your leads are coming from. You know, that's kind of my reason for that question of the day. Are you able to go back and say, all right, for 2020, here's how many leads we generated, and here's where those leads have come from. Whether that's on a simple spreadsheet, whether that's on a little handwritten tally sheet, whether that's in your CRM program, make sure that you're tracking where your leads are coming from. We need to see that, know that. What gets measured gets improved. When you're able to see where your leads are coming from and your closing percentage by lead source, it helps us use those precious marketing dollars better. All right, what else did I have on here? We'll wrap up with this, unless you guys type a question in there. Actually, two things. One, Bailey, I haven't emailed you about this, but when we set up our Friday, which is tomorrow, our Friday Remodeler show, I'm going to post on Remodelers Community and maybe elsewhere the actual streaming link, where if you click this link, all I have to do is click a button and I can add you live. And we're just going to see if anybody wants that link and see who kind of pops up tomorrow. And hopefully tomorrow we'll just do some a little plethora of Q&A live and conversation. Or you might even just hop on and be like, I don't got no questions, but I just wanted to chat. That's fun too. We'll have fun as part of our Fun Friday, the Remodeler Show session. Last thing here I will share is from a coaching call. My question for you is, who is someone you should set up a meeting with? Who is someone you should set up a meeting with? Just before the Remodeler Show, I was on a Zoom call with one of my clients, and she said, "Ooh, you know, Kyle, you'd like this. This afternoon, we are sitting down with a designer. This designer happens to be one of 3 designers at this design company that they've done some work with in the past. And this designer is kind of breaking off, starting to do her own thing. And the reason that they are meeting with this designer this afternoon is to just talk about how they might be able to work together. My client's been bringing them in on some design-related needs for some of their clients. This designer is going to need some options, some good options for her clients on the actual build and installation side. So there's this solid potential strategic partner back and forth that can be just a really nice relationship. And they reached out and said, hey, let's sit down and talk and have a conversation and figure out how we can help each other out. who is someone that you should set up a meeting with? Maybe it is a strategic partner. Maybe it is a potential trade partner, somebody that is a secondary plumber that you could talk to, an electrician you could talk to. Each one of you, myself included, has somebody that you can proactively reach out to have that conversation or have that meeting. So keep that in mind. That was something that I think we should always be thinking about. And it was something that just came to my mind because it was an example from less than an hour ago. Excellent. All right. So I think we'll kind of wind down there. It's 2 minutes before the bottom of the hour, but I have multiple kids. Literally, I think they have a watch on them, and they're sitting by the door waiting to come in. I baked a quick pizza for them, but that pizza is really just an appetizer for their lunch because there's 4 of them, and this pizza was tiny. And I said, take this pizza out. Here's a couple napkins. Eat a couple pieces, tide you over, and then at 12:30 you can come in, and we'll cook some more food. So I'm going to get to that as I balance life and business. Doesn't have to be perfect, people. It's going to be clunky here in the fall with some kids working remotely and virtually, and us working remotely. It's just kind of weird times. Be kind and compassionate and empathetic to your team and understand that. I think that's important to do right now. And let's not beat ourselves up when we're not as productive or that we're juggling a lot. That's just the times we're living in. Thank you for joining. Talk to you tomorrow. Later.